Check, check, check. Mic check.
Good morning. I'm Mark Cohen with TCU Athletics. Want to welcome everybody to campus. We appreciate you joining us today. It's a very exciting time and day at TCU, and especially for our women's basketball program. At this time, I'd like to introduce TCU Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Jeremiah Donati.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Well, as Mark said, today is an exciting day for TCU women's basketball, TCU athletics, and the TCU community as a whole, as we introduce our new head women's basketball coach, Mark Campbell. First, to the fans, to the former players, to our alums, I want to say we heard you. We heard you loud and clear. We understand you're hungry to win. I'm hungry to win. I know you want to see improvement, and I know you want to bring excitement back to women's basketball here at TCU. Today, we are taking a giant step towards all that, I assure you. So 2 days ago, we concluded a 3-week search process, and I have a bunch of thank yous I want to start out with. First of all, to our search firm, Turnkey, Katie Young-Stroud and Chad Chalos. They did a fabulous job helping us through the process. To our internal search committee, Kim Johnson, Rhonda Hatcher, Mike Sinkfield, Greg Featherston, Trustee Elliot Hill, and I'd also like to thank Chancellor Victor Boschini for his continued and incredible support through this process. It was an exhaustive process. To tell you a little bit about the search, we began it immediately following the announcement that Coach Peebley was not going to be returning, and a very competitive process. A lot of interest from all over the country. That wasn't surprising. This is a great place to be, a great place to work, as you all know. And we spent a lot of time interviewing and reviewing the candidates. There were more than a few things to like about Coach Campbell, but I think there were some things I'm going to mention here that really separated him and were a real differentiator between him and the other candidates. You know, for starters, he's an elite recruiter, and if you look at his bio, that's whether it's at the Division III level at Oregon State, Oregon, and Sacramento State, he's the best there is in the country. Two, has hands in two of the biggest rebuilds and turnarounds in women's basketball history, and I thought that was really, really interesting to see him do it at different levels. He's a program builder and rebuilder. Third, the player development on the court for a moment. Having the ability to coach 11 WNBA players and some of the best players in the world, was something I felt like we could really use here at TCU as far as player development on the court. And lastly, I'd call it a championship mindset. And I don't mean in just winning on the court, but in everything we're doing as we develop our student athletes, everything from winning on the courts to winning in the classroom, winning in life. I feel like the mindset that he and his staff will bring to TCU will really permeate across the entire program. And so I'm really excited about that. At the end of the day, Mark had a superior plan to turn this around. And I'm excited for you to hear in his own words how he's going to do that. But, we have high expectations here at TCU. We have high expectations for our women's basketball program, and we expect to compete for championships. Mark is the perfect fit to help us reach those expectations, and I could not be more excited about the future of our women's basketball program. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to officially welcome Mark, his wife Ashley, their two wonderful daughters. And Mark, let's hear from you. Come on up.
All right. Well, first of all, just want to say thank you to everyone that came out and has shown support. It's truly appreciated. I want to start this off by just saying thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this opportunity and opening this door. Truly is a dream come true. And I could not be more excited to be your next leader of your women's basketball program. Just like Jeremiah did, I got a list of thank yous, and I wrote these down because I don't want to miss anybody. It's a special opportunity to thank the people that have invested in me and played just a really important part in my journey. I'll start with the search committee, but Chancellor Boschini, Jeremiah, Mike Sinkfield, Kim Johnson, Katie and Chad. Thank you guys for this opportunity. I'd also like to thank Brett and Cav for all their hard work behind the scenes, helping me throughout my journey. I want to make sure I thank the people at Sac State, President Nelson, Athletic Director Mark Orr. Thank you for giving me my first opportunity and believing in me. The last 2 years at Sac State was truly a special journey. We took over a 3-22 program, probably the worst women's basketball program in the country, and it took 2 years to turn it into a NCAA tournament team, and we accomplished just a lot. And those players that poured their heart and soul into the program, thank you. It was a special journey and a special ride. Next, I'd like to thank my family. My wife, Ashley, is here, and we're getting close to celebrating our 21st wedding anniversary. So this is a great present and a way to celebrate that. But being a coach's wife is really hard, and I'm gone a lot, and I'm on the road a lot. And thank you for everything you do for our family. Thank you for everything you do for me, and thank you for everything you do for our 2 daughters. You guys don't know this, but she's probably the best coach in our family. She was a point guard at Vanderbilt, and she was a coach's daughter. But thank you, babe. Maylee McKay, I love you guys. Thank you for everything you guys do, and just I love you guys. Next, my mom and dad, my brothers, that they are not able to be here. I know they're watching this, but you guys, thank you for your never-ending love and support throughout my career, and I cannot wait for you guys to come and visit this place. Brad, Lisa, Troy, Steph, love you guys. Okay, now I want to talk about my coaching journey. Over the last 16 years, my coaching experiences they've prepared me for this opportunity. As Jeremiah mentioned, I've been a part of 3 major rebuilding projects. In 2010, we took over Oregon State that had 1 player on the roster, and they tried to cancel the program. And we were able to build that into a program that was a Final Four program, a program that won multiple Pac-12 championships. And I can't thank Coach Ruick enough for allowing me to be a part of his program and be in the trenches with him. And there was a lot of great life lessons that I take away from that experience. And after we rebuilt that program, I got hired to go help the University of Oregon build a program that had gone 4-26 before we took it over. And we turned that program into one of the premier college basketball programs in our country. In 2020, we had the #1 team in the country, and COVID hit. And that group, we didn't get a chance to compete for a national championship, but I'm pretty sure no one was stopping us that season. And after University of Oregon, and Coach Graves, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your program and build that thing. And that was an amazing 7-year ride. And after that, I got a chance to become a head coach for my first time, and went to Sac State, and that was a 3-win program that was at rock bottom. And it took 2 years to turn that thing around. And I already mentioned the amazing players and people that were involved in that. But all of those life experiences have prepared me for this rebuild. And this place, I've had a lot of different opportunities, and I've been very selective with each step in my journey. But TCU has everything in place to win at the highest level, which is clearly evident across the board. Every sport at TCU is competing for championships and winning at the highest level, except for the women's basketball program. And we're going to get that fixed. TCU has a passionate fan base with incredible support. It has elite facilities and resources, and it has an elite location. Texas, for women's basketball, is an absolute hotbed. It has some of the best coaches at the high school level, and it has some of the most elite summer travel program coaches. And our staff is beyond excited to dive into that and get going on the recruiting trail. 3 goals I have for our program: graduate 100% of our student athletes, compete for Big 12 titles, because if you're doing that, you're competing for national championships, and to make sure these student athletes have the best 4 or 5 years of their life. My coaching staff I'd like to touch on. I'm bringing some of my coaches from Sac State. The first one, Xavi Lopez. He'll stick out because he's from Barcelona, Spain, and you're going to hear a thick accent. On top of that accent, he's going to be drinking coffee all day. So he'll be hanging out by the Keurig if you can't find him. Xavi, we're starting our 10th year together. We were together for all 7 years at the University of Oregon. Xavi is the best international recruiter in college basketball. And he will oversee that. He'll also oversee our offense. We run the spread pick and roll. At Sac State, we had one of the most efficient offenses in college basketball, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But Xavi, thank you. Thank you for coming with me and excited to get this thing going. Mignon Moore is also coming with me. She was an assistant at Sac State, and she was our starting point guard at the University of Oregon. Her senior year was during the 2020 season when we had the number 1 team in the country and COVID hit. And so she didn't get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And so this past year was really special for her. She got cheated of that opportunity. And so it was really fun for her to get a play and be a part of March Madness. Mignon, you guys, is an elite competitor, an elite leader, and she will oversee our defensive scheme. Jan, thank you for coming with me. Recruiting, you guys. Recruiting is the absolute lifeblood of college athletics. And there is no one in the country that will outwork our staff. That I can promise you. And we are going to work relentlessly on the recruiting trail to attract some of the best student athletes from all over the world to come play college basketball here. Style of play, I talked about a little bit, but offensively, we're going to run the spread pick and roll. This past season, we were 4th in the country in three-point field goal percentage. We were 13th in the country in field goal percentage. And so we need to find some playmakers. We need to find some playmakers that want to run the pick and roll. And we're going to turn you loose. We're going to play fast, get out in transition, push the ball and push the tempo. But we're going to work really hard to get a good shot for our team. Defensively, we're going to play man-to-man defense. We played 100% of our possessions were man-to-man defense. In order to win championships, you got to defend and rebound at a high level. And that's something that we're going to do. I need Coach Dixon, though, to come in and teach us how his team smash offensive glass. So, Coach, if you can come help our group, that'd be greatly appreciated. But that's it, you guys. That's our blueprint. Beyond excited to be here. Jeremiah, thank you for this opportunity. We're not going to let you down. I would like to now open it up to any questions. Yeah, I never put a time limit on young people. Don't box in student athletes. And so we're going to work hard. At the end of the day, you need good players, and you need talented players. And so the portal, it's a new thing in college athletics that everybody's still trying to figure out, and try to figure out how you want to blend high school kids with portal kids. And we want to build a program that's built to last, but we also want to win, and we want to win quickly. And so There's no timetable on this thing, um, but at the end of the day, we're going to hit the recruiting trail real hard.
When you look at Texas, how much have you recruited Texas in the past, and what do you see? And you kind of touched on Georgia, but what do you see when you look in Texas, and just in the DFW market?
It has the best home base of talent in our country. As we built programs at Oregon State and Oregon, we didn't have local talent. We had to go search the globe and find players and convince players to come to Corvallis and Eugene. That's hard to do. And we were able to do that at a high level. To be able to have the talent that we have in our backyard is incredible. And I've never had that opportunity to go get players that are a car ride away. And so that's where we'll start. And we're going to work really hard to keep those kids home. But this is a national brand. It's a global brand, and we're going to take advantage of those connections that we have built over the last 15 years.
Mark, you talk about how you work for Sac State and how that figures in here at TCU.
Yeah, there's really good players in the portal. Over the last 2 years at Sac State, we signed the league MVP in back-to-back seasons. 2 point guards that came in. They led college basketball in pick and rolls. Our first year, the kid averaged 20 and 6 and did a phenomenal job getting our program turned around. And then last season, Kalasia Dean came in and averaged 21 and 5 and was also the league MVP. And so we were able to go pluck some elite playmakers and plug them in, and they were able to make plays for us and get our program turned around. And so the portal is a very important tool right now in college athletics.
You talked about international recruiting. How much has that changed in the last couple of years?
International recruiting, the game of basketball is global. The NBA and the WNBA, and it's trickled down to college athletics. And so at the University of Oregon, the Sabali sisters showed up, and they're from Berlin, Germany. Niara's here right now. But Satu was a number 2 pick in the draft, and her little sister, Niara, was a number 5 pick. And those were 2 kids that played a pivotal role in the resurrection of the Oregon women's basketball program. The kid that turned our program around at Oregon was Maite Cazorla from Barcelona, Spain, who was a WNBA draft pick and is a starting point guard for their Olympic team now. But those kids came in and helped resurrect the Oregon program. And so there's talent everywhere. And it's a global game, and we're going to work hard to find the right kids that fit TCU.
You talked about your time at Oregon and how you can apply that here in the
Yeah, it's the Pac-12 is a heck of a league, and we started at the bottom, and Stanford was the team that was running that league. And both at Oregon State and Oregon, we were able to assemble teams and rosters that were able to take down Stanford. And if you're able to do that, then you're in the hunt for a national championship. And so that translates to the Big 12. We're at the bottom, and we got a lot of work to do. And there's some programs that are ahead of us. But we're going to work really hard to assemble a roster that's going to catch all those guys. And again, if you're competing for Big 12 championships, you're competing for national championships.
Coach, how do you view the Big 12 knowing that it's going to be a shift here with different teams coming in and obviously some teams going out?
Man, there couldn't be a better time to join the Big 12 right now. As that transition is happening, our program is transitioning into a new era. There is a great opportunity right now for our women's program to make up a lot of ground really quickly, and so it's a really exciting time to take over this program.
You had a lot of success as an assistant coach, then you had a good run as head coach at Sac State. Can you just talk about personally what it means to you to get a job, head coaching job at a Power 5 school, and how special it is?
This opportunity is a dream come true. The ability to win at an elite level at a place that aligns with my faith, I couldn't have a better job in the country. And so I'm beyond excited. I feel like a little kid right now.
I saw Sabrina Nescu tweet out just like a congratulations for Satu being here in Dallas. Has she hit you up at all?
Yeah, Sabrina is like a daughter. Have known her since she was 14 years old. I was the first coach to find her coming into her freshman year of high school. So to watch her just grow up and become the person and player that she's become is incredible. And so she'll be here. She'll be popping in and she'll be working out with our kids and she'll be on campus. And it's incredible to have Satu just down the road with the Dallas Wings. And that's her home base. That's the Sabali home base. I wish Niara would come coach with us, but she wants to go chase this WNBA dream. But both the Sabali sisters, they'll be around our team and our program. I'm excited to be able to go pop in and support Satu with the Wings. But that's just an amazing connection for us, for our staff, the players. It's funny how life works out sometimes. High achieving student athletes, kids that value a degree. Here at TCU, it's an elite academic institution. We will recruit the best of the best because of what TCU offers. And so a student athlete that wants and values an education that we provide, and then a student athlete that wants to be a pro, that wants to chase their dreams and also wants to compete for national championships. And so the reality is there's not a lot of those out there, and they're easy to find, but they're hard to land. And so we're going to go get those ones. Not yet. We touched down yesterday, and I've been shaking hands and meeting people. So it's been a whirlwind, but that's after this press conference, I'll be in the office on the phone all day and touching base with the recruits that are incoming, getting to know our current student athletes, and then hitting the recruiting trail. And so we got about a week left to do home visits. And so we got a really, really small window to salvage. And so this next 7-day window is very important.
Anything else for Coach? He'll be available for one-on-ones also afterwards.
Awesome. You guys, thank you for coming here and just really excited to get started.